Ukraine's government and pro-Russia rebels have said that a ceasefire that began at midnight local time, 2200 hours o'clock GMT, is holding, but that there have been some violations. The ceasefire is seen as a first step in a peace plan aimed at ending 10 months of conflict in eastern Ukraine. Within 2 hours into the ceasefire, which came into effect on Saturday at midnight local time or 2200 hours o'clock GMT, Kiev reported attacks by pro-Russian separatists in the Luhansk area. Pro-Russian militants used artillery, mortars, and grenade launchers to attack the Ukrainian positions, near Zolote, Sanzharivka, Popasna, Chornukhine by 2 m, said tweets by Ukrainian army early on Sunday. A pro-Kiev official said that 2 civilians were killed by rockets fired by rebels shortly after the start of the ceasefire, but most of the front line had fallen silent. An elderly man and woman died after Grad missile fire hit the town of Popasna in the Luhansk region about 20 minutes after the truce came into force, local governor Gennady Moskal said. The firing reportedly came from an area that Kiev says is under the command of a renegade group of Cossack fighters who insist they will not obey the ceasefire. Meanwhile, rebels accused the Ukrainians of deploying artillery shortly after midnight, the AP said. Anxiety remains high that unrest could be sparked anew by rival claims to Debaltsev, a strategic railway hub now controlled by the government. On Saturday, intense fighting persisted around Debaltsev, in the eastern part of Ukraine, which has been besieged by separatist forces. Al Jazeera's Charles Stratford, reporting from Donetsk, said at least 7 Ukrainian soldiers were killed and 23 others wounded in Saturday's violence. Reporting from Donetsk on Sunday, Stratford said that it was a much quieter day. There has been a lot more confidence in the people in the street, with a lot more people trying to conduct their everyday lives. We went down to the separatist-controlled town of Uglegorsk, which was quite close to Debaltsev, and indeed we did hear both incoming and outgoing shelling. There has been sporadic shelling in and around Debaltsev all day, said Stratford. He added that while a 14-day weapons withdrawal from the front line, part of the ceasefire was due to begin on Monday, the observers from the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, who have been tasked to monitor the truce, said they were prevented by the separatists from entering Debaltsev. This obviously has huge potential ramifications for the heavy weapons withdrawal. Truce obligations. Under the terms of the ceasefire deal, approved on Thursday during talks between the leaders of Ukraine, Russia, Germany, and France in Minsk, Belarus, the rival sides have 2 days from the start of the truce to start pulling back heavy weapons from the front line. The peace plan is seen as the best hope of ending the violence that has claimed at least 5,480 lives since April, but skepticism remains high after the collapse of a similar previous deal. Minutes before the ceasefire, Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko gave a speech where he ordered his military forces to abide by the agreement. However, earlier, he expressed pessimism about the prospects for the ceasefire deal. Unfortunately, after the Minsk agreement, Russia's offensive has significantly increased. We still think that the agreement is in great danger, Poroshenko said during a meeting with Viktor Orban, Hungary's prime minister. Military spokesman Vladislav Seleznyov said the Ukrainian armed forces immediately fulfilled Poroshenko's order and the big guns fell silent in Donetsk and some other parts of the separatist-leaning east. Hours before the ceasefire took effect, U.S. President Barack Obama spoke to the leaders of Ukraine and Germany, during which he stressed the need for all sides to halt the violence.